This is the Bay Area SportsWeekly.com Oakland A's report. The Oakland A's with a dramatic come-from-behind victory up at Camden Yards in Baltimore. In the first of a three-game weekend series up in Baltimore, they win by a score of 14-9. After closer Ryan Cook gave away the lead the A's had, the A's were able to storm back the score 6 times in the top half of the ninth inning to secure a 14-9 win in their weekend series opener against the Baltimore Orioles at Camden Yards Friday night. It was just another day at the ballpark for the A's, who had shown uncanny flair of dramatic this season, which includes 11 walk-off wins, and they're 21-10. Their record is in games decided in the 7th inning or later. With the win, the A's, this is their 12th victory in the last 14 games. The A's moved to 9 games over 500 and giving them a game-and-a-half lead on the Detroit Tigers for the American League's second wild card spot. One night after a season-high 7-game winning streak snapped, the A's improved their record to 11-2 since the All-Star break, and they're 17-3 in the month of July, both tops in the American League. Facing All-Star closer Jim Johnson at a 9-8 deficit in the ninth, the A's, their 6th consecutive A's reached base with 1 out. Chris Carter singled, Brandon Inge singled, Derek Norris singled to tie it, and then Jamal Weeks singled to put the A's back at top. After a 2-run single by Coco Chris, Johnson was pulled for Luis Ayala, and Smith hammered a 2-run double off the wall, which was giving the A's misleading a 5-run win in a game that looked like it was lost moments before. After Sean Doolittle left with 2 on in the 8th inning, Cook came on, trying to yield back-to-back RBI singles to J.J. Hardy and Jim Thome, drawing the Orioles evening. Adam Jones was hit by a pitch to load the bases before Chris Davis knocked in the single to score Hardy to give the Orioles a 9-8 lead. But with the damage was more undone by the A's offense that tied it, had a season-high 16 hits. Smith led the way with a tying career-high 5 RBIs and only 3 at-bats, entering the game as a pinch hitter for Johnny Gomes in the 6th inning, which he had a 3-run double. With the A's trailing 6-5 with 2 outs in the 6th, Orioles starter Zach Britton exited, walking Brandon Hicks. Right-hander Miguel Sosovich entered the game, walked the bases loaded, setting the stage for Smith. After entering the game, only hitting 186 in his last 23 games and just getting 3 at-bats since Sunday, Smith hit a fastball on the outer half of the plate to opposite field, driving 3 runs to give the A's an 8-6 lead. The A's stormed to a 5-0 advantage with their on the backs, continuing with their power surge. Chris Carter's 2-run homer in the 7th in his first 48 at-bats capped off a 4-run first, but Hicks hit his 2nd career home run on the first pitch of the 2nd. The A's have now hit 26 home runs in 13 games since the All-Star break, most in the majors. Starter Jared Parker had one of his worst outings of the year, he had one of his worst outings of the year, allowing 6 runs on 8 hits, lasting only 5 innings. Amid his historic stretch, which allowed 1 run in fewer 11 of his 17 career starts, Parker has few struggles Friday and was the 4th this season, which given up 6 runs and failed to record an out in the 6th inning. Parker surrendered only 4 home runs on the season before yielding 2 Friday, as Davis put the Orioles on the board with a solo shot in the 2nd before Jones lined a 3-run shot in left, capping a 4-run 5th inning. As also with the win, the A's have won 12 of his last 14. Their record is now 17-3 in the month of July. And since the 9-game losing streak, since June 2nd, the A's are 32-15. That's baseball's best record since June 2nd. And the A's have now had 26 home runs since the All-Star break. And they're now 8 games above the 500 mark. The final totals of the game: A's 14 runs, 16 hits, no errors. Orioles 9 runs, 15 hits, no errors. The winning pitcher, Joey Blevins, his record goes to 4-0. The losing pitcher goes to Johnson. His record is 1-1. He was also charged with only his third blown save of the season. Time of the ball game was an even 4 hours, and the paid attendance is 29,278. With the win, the A's improved their record to 54-45. They're a game and a half up on the Detroit Tigers in the American League's final wildcard spot. The A's and Orioles will continue, as the A's and Orioles will play in the second game of their three-game series at Camden Yards in Baltimore on Saturday night. For the A's, will be Bartolo Colon versus Tommy Hunter. First pitch will be at 4:05 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. BayAreaSportsWeekly.com is sponsored by Metro PCS. Metro PCS is the official phone of BayAreaSportsWeekly.com. For the Oakland A's report for BayAreaSportsWeekly.com, I'm Brian Professor B. Davis. BayAreaSportsWeekly.com is your 24-hour news service.